In April 1998, 20-year-old Jason Knapp was living a standard college life. He was a sophomore at Clemson University and had recently joined the campus's Pershing Rifles ROTC unit. On the night of April 11th, he was hanging out in his apartment with his roommates. He was wearing jeans, blue sneakers, and a t-shirt, sitting on the couch watching a movie, a typical Saturday evening. By the next morning, he was gone. Assuming he had taken a spontaneous overnight trip, his roommates waited almost a full week before officially reporting him missing on April 17th. Initially, the case appeared to be a standard missing persons investigation. The profile suggested a young man who might have wandered off, setting an expectation for a search with a clear physical trail. 9 days after he was last seen, park staff noticed a white 1990 Chevy Beretta parked 30 miles from campus in a rugged, isolated area of Table Rock State Park. It was Jason's car. In a typical investigation, locating a vehicle provides immediate geographic focus. It usually gives searchers a starting point to trace a person's movements forward into the landscape. But the Beretta didn't provide a direction. The items left inside the car, and the state of his apartment back at Clemson, offered a series of details that refused to align with the idea of a person leaving for good. The car sat at the point where the investigation diverged from a standard search. Finding the vehicle didn't simplify the case. It introduced a collection of evidence that investigators still cannot reconcile. The first definitive timeline marker was found inside the car. Police recovered a Wendy's receipt from April 12th, the day after he was last seen, stamped at exactly 1:30 p.m. He arrived at the mountain shortly after. Investigators found a park entry ticket purchased between 3 and 5 o'clock that same afternoon. In 1999, the FBI processed that entry ticket. They officially matched the fingerprints on the paper to Jason Knapp. The forensic documentation is certain. Jason was alive, driving alone, and physically handed money to a park ranger at the gate that Sunday afternoon. However, his presence at Table Rock made little sense. Jason had no camping gear, and his family confirmed he was an inexperienced hiker. At his apartment, police found his ROTC rifle and ammunition exactly where he left them. His bed linens were stripped and balled up, as if intending to do laundry upon returning. Inside the car, the stereo, an item he usually removed, was still in the dash. Beside it sat a 6-pack of root beer and a bottle of orange juice, both untouched. These are the physical indicators of a person who intended to be away for only a few hours. He left his apartment and his car as if he expected to occupy them again that evening. The scale of the search was massive. Ground teams and helicopters spent 3,400 hours scouring 3,000 acres of terrain expanding from the parking lot. Over 2 weeks, searchers covered the steep, dangerous slopes. They found no clothing, no personal items, and not a single footprint. Tracking dogs were deployed at his confirmed starting point. Along the 15-mile summit path, they failed to pick up a single trace of his scent. This is the core of the mystery. A man is forensically proven to have entered the park, yet he left no biological or physical trace within the area search teams covered. The investigation stalled for decades. In 2008, authorities looked into serial killer Gary Hilton, but he was ruled out after denying any involvement. Jason was legally declared dead in 2018. Even as recently as 2022, authorities conducted new searches of the terrain, but found no new evidence. The original search dog handlers maintain that if Jason had died anywhere on that mountain, the density of their search should have yielded a result. If you have information regarding Jason Knapp's disappearance, please contact the Clemson University Police Department or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. After 27 years, the case remains defined by those final documented hours. Jason Knapp followed a path of receipts and tickets that leads to the entrance of a park he never appears to have entered.